What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Today's video, we got a exciting update announcement here for you guys. And this definitely caught me off by surprise. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below if you guys think this was a possible direction that Plarium would go with Raid. But we are getting a pretty big, juicy content drop pretty soon. So without further ado, here is the big announcement for you guys. Hey folks, update 11.7 will bring a major new addition to the game, a permanent dungeon with unique rewards to help power up your account. I'll be sharing how it works and what you can expect from this update. So what's going to happen, guys, is with the next patch update, we're going to be getting a brand new dungeon, and it's going to be a permanent dungeon. The upcoming patch will be coming this week. So it's going to be called the Champion Proving Grounds. It's going to be available to level 60 and above. The Champion Proving Grounds is a new rotation-based dungeon that consists of 27 stages. That's kind of weird, considering we have 15, we have 20, we have 30, but we have 25, but we don't have 27. It's kind of weird. Each featuring a battle against different boss pairings. Completing stages and following specific stage conditions earns you points. The more points you earn, the more stars you get per stage, and the better your rewards. Each champion proving ground rotation features its own unique champion pools. Pay close attention to them. Using champions from the primary and secondary pool grants point multipliers, helping you increase your stage score and earn stars. Such pools will often include fusion champions or champions from the recent guaranteed events, so that all players have a fair shot at succeeding in the dungeon. You are free to use any champion you like, though champions outside of the two pools will not provide any additional bonuses. Champion Proving Grounds will also be displaying the champion pool for the next rotation, giving you a heads up on which champions will be valuable in the future so you can prepare in advance. So I do have some screenshots here from, I guess, the test servers that they're sharing with us. So first up here, we do have the image of the dungeon. It's going to be next to the spider and the fire knight. You can kind of see there on screen right now. And this is what they mean by the different pools that we can use. So it looks like there are different boss pairings that we have to fight per stage. And you can see on the left-hand side, there's different pools. There's a primary pool and there's a secondary pool. And there's different point multipliers associated with each one. You can also see a pathway of rewards. So the more stars you complete, the better your rewards and the more rewards you're going to be getting. This is the top end of the stages. So you can kind of see there 25, 26, 27, and then the secondary pool. And then you have the next rotation pool that they're going to show us so that we can prepare for it in advance, which is kind of good. All right, let's move on. Let's keep moving on. Proving keys will be needed to access stages. Okay, so we need keys, not energy, but they won't be spent until you complete the stage with at least 1 star. Okay, that's good. So there's no failures or anything like that. Rematch keys can be used to enter previously completed stages and try to improve your results. Everyone gets 3 proving keys and 3 rematch keys per day. And you can buy 3 extra rematch keys with gems if you need a refill. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's where they're going to get you. The dungeon also features its own leaderboards and top 15, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how much you guys care about leaderboards, but yeah, those things, I don't know. It doesn't do it for most people. Each champion proving ground rotation lasts 28 days. Your stage progress, leaderboard standings, champion pools, and reward progression will reset with a new rotation. Makes sense. While the dual boss stages will not change in between the rotations, the task of rebuilding teams with different champions for each rotation will be a challenge worthy of its unique rewards. Okay, cool. Aside from the rewards earned by clearing the stage, each rotation also includes milestones. Earn stars to unlock them and claim additional rewards. Milestone rewards include starstones, relic crafting materials from a new relic group, and a brand new type of jewelry exclusive to this game mode called anomalous accessories. Okay, guys, when I first read this, I was like, oh my god, another accessories? Are you freaking crazy? I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are you guys going to do adding more accessories into this game? What is the solution to this accessory management that we need in this game? So that was my first question. But let's take a look at what these anomalous accessories are all about. They're a new type of accessory obtained only from the proven ground chests. They obtain They retain their parent set bonuses if such are applicable, but the substats may include one or a combination of new boons instead of the flat stat bonuses from before. These new substats are increased damage in PvE mode, so that's going to be crit damage. Increased damage in PvP modes, that's going to be what says damage, a PvP damage plus. Oh, I see. So that's going to be the short form, PvE damage plus. So what does increased damage mean? I don't know how they're going to do that. It's probably just going to be a multiplier, right? Increased damage against bosses, increased damage in dungeons, decreased damage taken in PvE, decreased damage taken in PvP, decreased damage taken against bosses, decreased damage taken in dungeons. So these are really strong. These are really strong because um, you can think of it as how much is a how much is a flat attack stat going to give you in terms of overall benefit versus increased damage in PvE. So if you can get the correct, boons or these types of stats on the anomalous accessories, these will definitely be way stronger than the non-anomalous accessory variant. So let's finish up the talk about the anomalous accessories here. All PvE substats stack. So if you have a bonus damage for PvE modes and bonus damage against bosses, both will apply to this champion. So again, very, very strong. Anomalous accessories can belong to the following sets: Stone Skin, Protection, Supersonic, Merciless, Blood Shield, Reaction, Revenge, Refresh, Cleansing. So Mercurial is noticeably absent from that, guys. It's an interesting choice here. I mean, Merciless is going to be pretty good. Like if you can get some nice Merciless accessories, do some extra damage against bosses. The other sets, I mean, Stone Skin's going to be good. Protection's going to be good. Supersonic to some extent. Blood Shield, Reaction, Revenge, Refresh, Cleansing, they don't really get used that much in the very end game of things. But if those accessories picked up some really good boons stats, those probably could, warrant getting used, right? And then lastly, they do mention that with the addition of the anomalous accessories, the jewelry storage will be extended by 200 slots. 200 slots, guys. Is that enough? There's 16 factions. There's 16 factions. You get 200 slots. You get what? 10, 11 extra accessory slots per faction. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. What's going to happen is that these anomalous accessories will just hard filter the original versions of them a little bit harder, right? So, for example, if you have some basic stone skin accessories, if you get some, anomalous stone skin accessories with some good boons on them, you're probably going to get rid of your basic accessories, right? So that's kind of how it's going to go. We didn't get the range information or how much damage we're going to be doing for each of these boons. Like we usually get a range, right? So we don't know yet. So we don't know how significant the damage bonus is or the damage reduction is, for example. Not yet anyways, but cool. So they're basically extending the life of the gear, the gear hunt in this game, right? And it's definitely going to force people into this dungeon if they want some of these cool new accessories. And it's interesting that they left out Mercurial. So now people have to prioritize further, right? Whether you want to do Stone Skin or Mercurial, whether these accessories are going to make up the damage difference in PvP, for example, or damage reduction. Okay, and lastly, with this update, we do have a faction relics. This is a new subcategory or group of relics. Alongside anomalous accessories, Champion Proving Grounds will reward you with crafting materials for relics from the coal essence group. Oh my god, sorry guys, first time. Coalescence group, the coal group, we'll call it. Relics from this group function similarly to other relics, but also possess a unique faction bonus that activates when the relic is equipped by a champion from that corresponding faction. This is an interesting idea. I do kind of like it. It's kind of like the faction unity champion per faction, but now you have it for a relic. Again, we'll see how strong these are. They did give us the the relic breakdown here, so we'll take a look at that. These relics can still be equipped by champions from other factions, but their unique bonuses will remain inactive. Upgrading the relic does not affect its faction bonus. Update 11.70 will introduce 6 legendary relics from the Cole group. One final screenshot here from the dungeon stuff from this new dungeon. So we have, the different 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, and then you get a certain amount of points for the clear. So that's might be interesting for you guys to note. And then we get to see the 3 keys and the 3 rebattle keys also. Just something to note if you guys are interested in that. All right, so as we just found out, we get 6 legendary relics from this new Cole group. So this is the first one here, Bloat Shield Totem. Legendary, like we said. The base effect is enemy ignore defense effects from skills are 5% less effective on the wearer per each active buff placed on allies by the wearer, up to 15%. So the wearer of this totem needs to place buffs, and for each buff, ignore defense effects are 5% less effective. So that's just the standard. That's the standard effect, right? And let's say you go up to level 12, your ignore defense reduction will increase by 15%. So up to, I guess, 30%, which is pretty good. But it looks like you need 6 buffs to apply that. Now, this is where it gets interesting because you have 3 factions that will benefit more from this totem. So you got the Ogren tribes. The wearer has a 20% chance to get an extra turn when applying buffs to allies using a skill. That's really strong, actually. Demon Spawn, the wearer and their allies reflect 15% of any damage received from skills per each active buff on them placed by the wearer. 15% per active buff. So somebody like Duchess does like 3 buffs in one move. So that's 45% of the damage received. That could be significant. And then lastly, for Shao-Kahn, increase the wearer's max HP by 5% of each buff the wearer places on allies using skills up to 100%. Again, could be significant. So far from this totem, the faction bonuses are actually pretty solid. Like the main effect is not bad. It's definitely usable. And then if you add the faction bonuses on top of it, that's pretty good. I like it. Looks pretty strong. Let's move on to the next one here. We also have the base stats of each relic listed on the right-hand side. If you guys want that info, I did ask for it in our content creator chat. The totem looks like main stat will be resistance, then speed, then defense. So totem looks like a pretty good relic to start us off. Let's move on to the next relic, and that's going to be Flesh Melter Lash. The wearer deals 10% more damage with skills when attacking out of turn. So counterattacks, ally attacks. Could be interesting. Barbarian, the wearer ignores 15% of target's defense with skills when attacking out of turn. Okay, not bad. Skinwalkers, any effect from skills used by the wearer when attacking out of turn cannot be resisted. That's cool, nice little effect. And then Skinwalkers, Shadowkin, the wearer skills are always critical when attacking out of turn. Max damage is increased by 5%, so if it's a level 12, it's going to go plus 15. So wearer deals 25% more damage with skills when attacking out of turn. This could be interesting. It really depends on what champion you want to put this on that makes sense. Somebody like Freya could make sense, like for the Barbarian faction, just off the top of my head. Mainly because her passive allows her to attack when shields are broken, when her shields are broken. So she's kind of attacking out of turn. But just something off the top of my head, that could be interesting. But again, this relic looks generally pretty solid. And then you add in the faction bonuses to it, looks even better. This one, the Lash, is going to be defense, main stat, crit damage, and then attack. So that's going to be the stat distribution for that one. It's funny I mentioned Freya. Freya will work perfectly for those first 2 stats there. Let's move on to the next relic. That's going to be Gauntlet of Ruin. Gauntlet of Ruin increases the wearer's ignore defense effects by 1% every time they place a debuff using a skill, up to 5%. So you get an additional 5% ignore defense if you can land 5 debuffs. Let's check out the bonuses here. The wearer deals, so Dark Elves, the wearer deals an additional 3% max HP damage from all skills for each debuff on the target, up to 30%. Bosses and minions receive 25k more damage for each debuff on them, up to 250k. This is a lot of damage, potentially. So first up, you gotta land the debuffs, and then you're gonna be doing the max HP damage from all skills. Yeah, this could be significant for Dark Elves. Orcs. The wearer deals 5% more damage from skills for each debuff on the target. That could be good. That could be good and easy to trigger. And then Organized. The wearer's crit damage is increased by 20% when using skills for each debuff on the target. Well, 20% for each debuff. Wow, that's significant. And then at level 12, leveled up, you're going to get additional 9% ignore defense. So you're going to go up to 14% ignore defense, but that requires you to land 14 debuffs. So it looks like a pretty good relic for like longer fights, like Hydra fights, for example. Again, this is a really solid epic. I mean, a really solid legendary relic. And then you factor in the faction bonuses, makes it even better. I don't think it's broken or anything, but it looks really good. And then just looking over the base stats here, you got accuracy, you have the front stat, and then you got attack and then crit damage. So accuracy is the front stat. Obviously, is a debuff. It's a debuff debuffer relic. So accuracy on the front stat makes sense. Again, very good. Next relic, Life's Spring Skull. Decreases the damage received by the wearer by 0.5% every time they heal an ally using a skill, up to 10%. So like, I'm seeing high elves, somebody like Galthier makes sense, right? High elves, heals from the wearer skills are always critical. Not sure how that works in terms of significance. Bannerlords, heals all allies by 50% of any surplus heal the wearer receives from skills. Okay. Lizardman activates instant turn effect on the wearer if all allies have full HP after wearer heals them using a skill. 4-turn cooldown. Yeah, the instant turn is pretty strong and could happen relatively frequently here. So level 12 relic, you're going to go up to 16% damage reduction. And the stat distribution on this is HP, defense, and resistance. I would say this one is probably the weakest one so far that we've seen out of all the legendary relics so far. But I'll be interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below if you guys think this is better than what I think. But I think it's the weakest one so far. It doesn't have as strong as an impact as the other three that we just went over. I do like the instant turn mechanic from the Lizardman, but I don't like the 4-turn cooldown, which is quite a bit. Let's move on to the next relic, and that's going to be the Sempiternal Anchor. Decreases the target speed by 2.5% every time the wearer steals or decreases the target's turn meter up to 10%. Steals or decreases turn meter. So it's not going to work against bosses. Most bosses. Sylvan Watcher, the wearer can still decrease or steal a turn meter on weak hits from skills. Okay. Protection against weak hits. That's pretty good. Undead, the wearer ignores 30% of the target's resistance when decreasing or stealing turn meter using a skill. Somebody like Fabian, that could work because Fabian has the A1 that steals turn meter. So that can be good for him. Night Revenant. The wearer has 50% chance to repeat any turn meter reduction effects from skills occurs once per skill. 50% chance. So at level 12, this relic will have 17.5% max speed reduction. And the stat breakdown for this is accuracy front stat with HP and speed as the last stat. Accuracy makes sense, so that's good to see. I'm not too sure how strong this would actually be because it seems to be that it would require a couple turns for this to be very significant. And the fact that you can't really use it against some bosses makes it a little bit less good, I think. Obviously, permanent decrease speed is going to be very good against bosses, but you're not able to steal or decrease turn meter from bosses very often. So this seems like a PvP or a wave-based relic. I'm not too sure if this is going to be great, but accuracy front stats going to be good, even just for stats. So not a bad relic. And then this is going to be the last relic, Sibilant Gold. All right. So increases the wearer's ignore defense effects when using skills by 2% for each active buff on the wearer up to 10%. That's pretty nice. So you're going to get ignore defense based on the amount of buffs that you have. Sacred Order. The wearer deals 5% more damage with skills for every 10% HP the target has lost. So you're going to deal more damage against weaker opponents. Undead Horde. The wearer has a 25% chance to deal additional single target damage equal to the initial damage multiplier from single target skills, always a normal hit, and deals pure damage. Has a 25% chance to deal additional single target damage. This is pretty interesting. I'm not too sure. This could be significant, but I'm not too sure about this. And then Dwarves, the wearer has an extra 15% chance to inflict a critical hit when attacking. So if you have this relic on, then you can build for 85%, I guess. At level 12, the max ignore defense ignore is 16%. And it just requires you to have a bunch of buffs. Stat distribution on this looks pretty good. We got front crit damage, and then you have HP and then speed as the last stat. Honestly, I think this is a pretty good relic. You can use it for PvP or PvE content. Yeah, and I think it's good. It just deals extra damage. The buff condition doesn't seem hard to fulfill, especially for boss content like Hydra or wave content. For PvP, it's probably going to be much harder, but you do get a little bit of ignore defense, which is kind of nice. And if you have this on any of the factions, you're just going to get additional damage. In the case of the dwarves, you just get some build flexibility for 15% crit rate. So pretty good. I mean, and you get front crit damage as the main stat too. So honestly, I like it. 6 legendary relics, all of them look pretty good. And with the faction additional boons, they look definitely a lot better. But none of them I think are particularly busted. But for legendary relics, I think they're good. I think they're good. Not busted, but good. I would have liked to see more factions get some bonuses. Like for example, we saw some factions get more than one instance on some of the relics. So hopefully they release more and more to give other factions the opportunity to benefit from these relics. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully it was informative and helpful for you guys. Like I said, this is coming in the next patch 11.70, and that should be coming later this week. So keep an eye out for all of that. Not too sure how I feel about a brand new dungeon. I think that's just extra things to do. But obviously, if you're at the stage in the game where you're trying to fish for relics, trying to improve your account that way, this is just going to be another extra task that you're going to have to do to farm those relics. It's kind of nice that it doesn't require energy, but if you want to min-max, obviously, you'll probably be spending some gems to get the refills, which is, might not work for everybody, of course. And having roster limited, content like this new dungeon is definitely not early game friendly. It opens at level 60, which is pretty late. So it's not an early game piece of content. So don't feel bad if you guys are not able to farm this yet. This is definitely going to be something for the late and end game players with deeper rosters to tackle. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Like I said, hopefully it was helpful and informative for you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this update. Let me know if I missed anything. Are you guys excited for this? Let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for watching until the end. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.